say they need to ban the podcast equipment and take y'all mics away. And oftentimes when I listen, shit, I agree.
For real talk.
Hey, man, just because we know people don't mean that they know things. A lot of us was in the same classes with some of these folks. That don't mean they were passing these classes.
All the time.
It ain't the world leaving you behind, man. It's your line of thinking. You think the science stopped evolving because you stopped learning, and it don't work that way. I couldn't imagine voting for somebody who thinks identifying with me is identifying with a felon. That's crazy as hell. I'm Mrs. Spann, and I'm approving these messages. This is the Mrs. Spann Official Podcast. Let's go. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Mrs. Spann Official Podcast. I am your host, Mr. Spann, and this is episode number 94 of the show. And yeah, man, check us out. Check us out, man. 3 shows in 10 days, nigga. Come on, man. Come on, man. Yeah, I think I done found a little rhythm, man. I wish I had some wood around me. So, I do have wood right here. Got some wood right here. So we don't jinx that shit, man. But yeah, man, we don't get a chance to do this often, So anytime we get a chance to do this as often as we've been doing it the last few days, man, we got to take note of it, right? But yeah, man, I think the last time I talked to you guys was Saturday afternoon, man. And, of course, there's been some things that have happened over the course of the last few days. And I'm like, you know what? I got some thoughts on that shit. So I'm going to go ahead and fire up that young microphone and get to talking about it. But, of course, before I do that, I got to remind you guys how to get in touch with us over here at the Mrs. Spann Official Podcast and let your voice be heard. Go ahead and hit up that hotline at area code 313-288-0485. There's area code 313-288-0485. Leave those voicemail messages. Of course, those messages will get played here live on the show and responded to in kind. And if you're watching us here live on YouTube and or Facebook, go ahead and hit me up on that hotline while we're doing the show, man. That's area code 313-288-0485. You can also hit me up on Threads and Instagram. My name on both of those platforms is Mr._Spann. So go ahead, follow me there. Chop it up with your man Spann throughout the week. Also, hit us up on our YouTube channel, man. Go ahead, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like the videos on the YouTube channel. Comment on the videos on the YouTube channel, man. We really appreciate you guys for doing that. Some of those comments will be highlighted here. As a matter of fact, I got a few comments I need to kind of respond to here on the show tonight. So yeah, man, go ahead and do that, man. We really do appreciate you guys for supporting the YouTube channel in that way, man. There's another way for you guys to take into the show. Also, leave us a 5-star review on iTunes and or Spotify. Those 5-star reviews are the ones that get right here live in the show. We really do appreciate you guys for doing that. Doesn't cost you a dime, just a couple minutes of your time to let everybody know why you're rocking with us over here at the Mrs. Spann Official Podcast, man. Real talk. And also, we got a store, right? Now, our store has some things in it. That I think you may enjoy. Like I said, we got stuff in there like t-shirts and hoodies and athletic shirts, because we don't call them wife beaters no more. Athletic shirts. We got coffee mugs. We got mouse pads. We got laptop covers. We even got hats, y'all.
We got some hats now, motherfuckers.
We got hats in the store, man. So for y'all who really would like to contribute, monetarily, we really do want you guys to get something back tangibly. So for those of you who would support us in that way, we very much appreciate that, man. Real talk. But yeah, man. So let's see. First things first. I got some comments here in the chat. My man Dwayne, what's up? What's going on, brother? How you doing? Hope everything's well with you. And he also says, I see Michigan is doing their thing in the tournament, to which I will say yes. Yeah, man. Michigan is putting belt to ass on a lot of motherfuckers this year. And, as a long-time Michigan Wolverine fan, man, like it... I'm trying not to get too up. About this because, you got to understand, man, the last time the Michigan Wolverine basketball team won the national championship was 1989, Chief. Yeah, man, I was back in like Glenn Rice, Rumil Robinson days, man. Like it was Lloyd Vaught, those guys, man. Some old dudes, you know what I'm saying? And so and then, when I was really coming of age, was when we had the Fab Five with Juwan Howard and Chris Webber and Jalen Rose and Ray Jackson and Jimmy King. And as a kid, you could not have told me that team was not going to win the national championship. Then they get smashed by Duke in that first national championship game, and then they come back the next year, and I just knew we was going to have it, man. And then we lose to North Carolina, and I've never, ever, outside of the fact that Michael Jordan came from North Carolina, I have never liked either team that came out of North Carolina because they both beat my damn Michigan Wolverines, man. So, yeah, man, it's good to see them playing and playing as well as they are. But, yeah, I'm trying not to get too hype, because the last time I think we played Louisville for a national championship and we lost that one. So, and I think that's when we had Trey Burke and stuff like that. So, yeah, man, I'm trying not to get too hype about it. I'm trying to stay even keel, but, nigga, if we win, y'all this gonna be y'all.
Oh man, hey.
Yeah, y'all not gonna like your boy, man. I'm gonna be obnoxious. I am. I am. So yeah, man, we got that going on. But also, let me get to the comments that were left on one of our videos, man. So of course you guys know, let's see, Alcinia was on episode number 90 of the show, Will We Learn From Our Political Past? And, we had a very good conversation. I would love to have the sister on again. I told her she needs to start her own podcast. I'm sure people will listen to her podcast. But we got some comments here. First things first, my man Jay Full was in the comments. He says, so glad you're back. And Cindy is my homie. Happy to see her on the show. Have her back. And we will. As soon as she allows for that to happen, we will have her back. It also says, Sharonda says, great convo. Alcinia, we need to see more of you. So, again, I told you, girl, like, it wasn't just me that was saying this. The people, I'm telling y'all, I be knowing a little something. I be knowing how people be on, like, yeah. Girl, get your show. If I could do anything to help facilitate that, trust and believe I will, man. Real talk. But, yeah, man, we got that going on. Also, I believe I had comments on, was it the Spotify? Let me see, was Spotify that I had a new comment on? No, so I already did this. This was Russell when he was talking about Madam VP. Obviously wasn't talking to us in reference to Stephen A. Smith having his panties in a bunch about Kamala saying that, she told us so in regards to Donald Trump being president of the United States and whatnot. So we got that going on. But yo, man, leave us. Hey, them 5-star views are fucking lacking, fam. Like real talk. This is what I hate. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, hey.
I mean, ultimately as a podcaster, we want to put something out. We want to put stuff out in the world, and we want to hear how y'all are feeling about the stuff we putting out in the world. And I want to leave the microphone with something.
I'm leaving here with something. You know what I mean? I'm from around the way. I'm leaving with something.
I'm from around the way, man. Leave me with a review, man. Do I have to beg? Do I have to crawl? Do I have to plead for a 5-star review around this motherfucker, man? I mean, cause y'all be listening. I see the numbers. And also, man, see, I also be seeing the numbers too. I know what my, I'll go to the analytics and whatnot. I'm gonna look at the analytics right now. And I know the type of people who listen to me, right? I know the type of people who listening. As a matter of fact, they break it down pretty motherfucking good on here. So let me go here. Let me see. Where is it at? Where is it at? Well, they broke it down to like the people in their age range and whatnot on who was my audience. Yeah. So like, listen, y'all, listen, fam. 73% of this audience is male. Okay. Which I do find surprising considering some of the more, I guess, feminine topics I talk about on here. I'm surprised that, not more sisters are listening. I'm surprised about that right there. No, but 73% of you guys are male and 22.6% are female. But man, of the people who listen to the show, man, the vast majority of my audience is 45 to 59 years old. So I know y'all know how to do it. Right? So take some time, man. Take some time. Don't cost you nothing. It's free, baby. It's free. Those 5-star reviews are free, and I really would appreciate you guys if you did that. Thank you so much. Yeah. Yeah, man. So let's get to it. We got some stuff, man. We got some stuff here on the show to talk about. As a matter of fact, damn it, we got breaking news. Yeah, man. So, of course, according to NBC News, Donald Trump has just signed an executive order to take over voting on a federal level. All right, so let me go ahead and pull this video up so you guys can watch right along with your man Spann. Give me a second here while I can get you guys all queued up. And let's see exactly what this buffoon is talking about right now. This video is 6 minutes long. I doubt we watched the entire 6 minutes, but let's see what the fuck he's talking about right now. Trump says he'll attend birthright citizenship hearing. Okay, whatever.
I do believe because I have listened to this argument for so long, and this is not about Chinese billionaires or billionaires from other countries who all of a sudden have 75 children or 59 children in one case or 10 children becoming American citizens. This was about slaves. And if you take a look, slaves, we're talking about slaves from the Civil War. And if you take a look at when it was filed, all of this legislation, all of this, everything having to do with birthright citizenship, it was at the end of the Civil War. The reason was it had to do with the babies.
Hold on a second.
Slaves.
So this video isn't necessarily have anything to do with the fuck the article they had. So let me go ahead and pull this down, because this doesn't have anything on what we were talking about. But let me do this here, and let's see what this article says, because, yeah, they wrote about it in the article. So, yes, as President Donald Trump is again trying to exert control over American elections, signing an executive order Tuesday that aims to create federal list of citizens and asks the U.S. Postal Service to transmit mail ballots to only those people. The executive order, his second related to elections since he retook office last year, is sure to be quickly challenged in court. The U.S. Constitution gives states the power to set voting rules and administer their own elections, though Congress has the ability to set some regulations too. So here again is Donald Trump doing some extrajudicial, extra congressional maneuvering to try to take control over these elections. Let's keep it a buck, man. Donald Trump knows that in 2026, these midterm elections could result in a wipeout for his party in Congress. And so as a way to mitigate that, he's doing whatever he can to muck up that to muck up that system. This is why we saw ICE agents in Minneapolis. To be quite frank, they were really trying to extort the state of Minnesota to give up their voter rolls so that they can look over their voter rolls. Right? They went in there under the auspices of, well, there's a bunch of fraud going on with Somali immigrants or whatever. But what they were really trying to do was extort them out of their voter rolls. Same thing with in Georgia. Right. Well, we saw the FBI raided the polling places in Georgia, and he's really trying to relitigate the 2020 election to say that there was fraud, this, that, and the other. So they went and they basically seized ballots out of Georgia, like all of these different things to try to drive up what's the word that I'm looking for here? To drive up skepticism over whether or not these elections are going to be fair and balanced, so to speak, right? But everything he does is more so for his own political survival. It has nothing to do with whether or not he wants you to have a fair election. No, this is about him and covering his own ass. It says that's a big. He says that's a big deal, Trump said as he signed the order in the Oval Office, adding that he didn't believe the courts could overturn it. They will overturn it. I think this will help with a lot of elections. We like to have voter ID. Most states already do. We like to have proof of citizenship. Usually, if you got your ID, you got your proof of citizenship. Very seldom are illegal immigrants going to the voting rolls and draw attention to themselves by voting in an election that they're ineligible to vote in. And that'll be another subject for another time. We're working on that. You would think it'd be easy. The order asks the Department of Homeland Security to create state citizenship lists from federal citizenship and naturalization records, Social Security records, and other federal databases. Basically, shit we already have. These lists would then be sent to the states to verify their voter rolls, and the USPS would be asked to transmit ballots only addressed to people on state citizenship lists. It's unclear how the USPS, a chronically underfunded agency, which they do on purpose, would absorb the mandate to police election mail as required by the order. Two key players in failed efforts to overturn the 2020 election, which Trump lost, Kurt Olson and Heather Honey, were involved in discussions around the executive order, according to a person familiar with the preparations. Olson is now Director of Election and Security and Integrity at the White House. Make that make sense. So now, Trump has essentially just installed his cronies into the office where before, I remember, I forget, I think his name was Chris Krebs, where he talked about I think he was the election integrity person in the first Trump administration when Trump fucking lost, and because he told the truth, they got rid of his ass, right? Because he told the truth, they got rid of him. So now Trump just has some obsequious piece of shit sitting in sitting in that office now. So they're gonna basically give Donald Trump whatever answer that Donald Trump wants. Let's see. It also says while Honey works in a senior role at the Department of Homeland Security, election experts said that they expected the order would be deemed unconstitutional by the courts, which it is. It's unconstitutional on its face because, again, the president doesn't have the authority to change voter laws for the nation unilaterally. He just does not have that power to do it. And so, yes, the courts it's going to be challenged in court, and the shit is going to be overturned. But this is yet another example of Donald Trump trying to take your access to the ballot away from you, but also cover his own ass. Because I know once if the Democrats get a hold of the House and the Senate, is probably curtains for this motherfucker. Real talk. So yeah, man, we got that going on. Dwayne's in the chat room. He says Trump and his damn executive orders. Yeah, man, this is one of the things. Trump thinks that he can just kind of sidestep the entire United States government. And here's the thing that's it's the more appalling thing to me is that like he's got a Republican Congress that is pretty much set aside, man. They act as though they don't have a fucking job to do, and they essentially allow Donald Trump to dictate to them what the fuck the agenda is, and they don't have a backbone. So this is why he gets to operate with the impunity that he does, man. Real talk. Also, 4-letter word. I think this is my man Jay Ford. Says these courts are compromised though, so I don't have too much faith that they'll rule against Trump, or if they do, it'll be after the election. So here's the thing about that, right? We just got word that there were some other cases where Donald Trump had been turned back on executive orders. I just saw something about an executive order that he did to defund NPR and PBS was unconstitutional, and the judge permanently blocked it. Now I'm not sure. I'm sure they'll probably fight that up to the Supreme Court, but a judge has already blocked that. And then there was another one because he's got so many motherfucking executive orders that come out. But I'm forgetting what this other case was, but there was another case just recently where a court just kind of turned back that executive order as well. So not all of the courts are as compromised. The problem that we run into is that, well, once it gets to the Supreme Court, whether or not that will be whether or not they will be the ones who just say fuck it and just and fuck us all. So I get your worry though, brother. Real talk. So yeah, man, we got that going on. Now, also, what else we got going on in the world? Oh yeah, man. So former Detroit Piston and now also former Chicago Bull Jaden Ivey has lost his goddamn mind. Yeah, man. So Jaden Ivey, former, I want to say he was a lottery pick for the Detroit Pistons. He was traded earlier this year to the Chicago Bulls, and he only played like 4 games for the Bulls before he got hurt. But apparently, Jaden Ivey went on social media and started speaking about his religious beliefs and disparaging the NBA for celebrating Pride. And so, what did they do? The Chicago Bulls just decided, you know what? We're going to waive his ass.
That'll be a monkey's bare-assed uncle.
Yeah, man, they waived him. And so it's caused a lot of discussion online. I'm seeing people already, Don, and he's about to become a martyr to a lot of folks on the right wing. I see it already. I'm starting to see already, because this only happened yesterday, but I'm already starting to see Kyrie Irving level, kind of martyrdom being bestowed upon him. When Kyrie decided he didn't want to get vaccinated, and they was like, well, you can't play if you're not going to be vaccinated. And people were like, he shouldn't have to do it. This is his freedom. Must be like, well, I mean, it's their freedom to also decide whether or not they want him in their facilities or not, right? Same thing with the Bulls and what have you, right? So, he's been on social media saying some things, right? So we're going to listen to exactly what the hell Jaden Ivey is saying that caused the Chicago Bulls to decide they don't want any parts of him no more. So let me go ahead and pull this up so you guys can watch right along with your man Spann. Okay, let's see. I got this one here. This came out of the book. So let me go ahead and pull up the Facebook so you guys can see what I'm seeing. And let's hear what this young man had to say. Why did the Chicago Bulls decide they could no longer deal with this young man? Okay, let's go.
That's where many don't know the real Jesus. That's why you got Steph Curry, and he not even surrendered, and y'all believe he's a Christian. Y'all believe he's a Christian because he wrote Philippians 4:13. Y'all think he's a Christian.
Okay, so off top, he's coming at one of the preeminent stars of the league and questioning that man's faith. Why? I don't know. I don't know what Steph Curry has to do with his particular situation or whatever, but questioning someone else's faith publicly for what reason? Yeah,
Think of how stupid the average person is, and then realize half of them are stupider than that.
Mm-hmm.
But he cursing just like the world.
We are now about ready to go, so please take your seats. Fasten your seatbelt.
Friendship with the world is enmity with God. He's friendship with the world. He don't know Jesus. And I pray he comes to the truth.
So here's another thing, right? He says that he doesn't know Jesus and that Steph Curry curses like the world. I'm Christian and I curse. So according to him, I also wouldn't be considered Christian. Here's the thing though, right? Just based on the little bit that I've heard so far, what it seems like to me, because I've heard some scuttlebutt about whether, his newfound conversion, like he's a fairly new Christian. He's, and he has what they would call being hot for Jesus, man. Like you ever, not even so much that you ever notice like when people come into a new religion, it's almost like y'all remember Sharif on Minister Society, and how Sharif was very devout in his religion. It was something new to him, and he wanted to spread that good news to the rest of his homies. But his homies was like kind of over it. They're like, "Come on, man!" And even I forget my man's name, but he like, "Man, but Sharif be at us every day, man." They was so sick of it, but they still, they allowed him to hang around or whatever, right? And so it's one of those things where like when you're new to the religion and your zeal for the religion, because it seems like this is something that's giving you purpose, and you want people to have the same clarity that you believe that the religion is given to you. And so sometimes you can go and evangelize, but because you're new to this, you don't necessarily know how to do it, right? And so the way in which you evangelize to people comes across judgmental, and oftentimes it seems as though you're condemning folks, right? And I don't know how much of that actually brings people to Christ, right? Don't know. I haven't gone out here evangelizing to folks in that way. Like when I do talk about, my spiritual beliefs is, sometimes is on, this platform, and I don't talk about it a whole lot. But I don't go to church regularly. I read my Bible. I am a believer, but also I don't, force what my religious beliefs are on everyone else. And the other thing that I hate is when oftentimes the religion is used to justify the subjugation of other folk. And I hate when they do that. So what I'm getting from this right now is that Jaden Ivey he's newly converted, and he's very zealous in his walk right now, but also like the way in which you come in, folk will will determine how they receive the message that you're giving them.
That him and his family will be saved in Jesus' name. Because all that stuff is not going to matter on Judgment Day. All them rings he got.
Now that right there just sounds like jealousy. Again, like, why are you talking about that man's religion and his relationship with God when everyone's relationship with God is a personal one, just like yours is? It's a personal one. So how dare you come across and talk about that man's walk with God when that man's walk is probably different from yours? Think about that, man.
All them rings LeBron got. All them rings Michael Jordan got. Right? They said your conduct is detrimental to the team. I haven't been with the team. Right? I haven't been with the team because I've been rehabbing. So how is my conduct detrimental to the team?
Well, it depends on how some of your teammates may receive the messaging that you've been putting out on social media for the world to see. Right? Whether you're around them or not, they see this shit that you putting out the same as I did. I'm not a member of the Chicago Bulls. Your shit is all over right now. Right? So yeah, man, like that's part of the reason why it could be seen as detrimental to the team.
Where have I done detriment? Did the players did I say man, you suck? Did I say you suck to the players? That would be detrimental to the team, right? Because I don't trust and I'm saying the player sucks and I'm on the same team as him. Right? And he's my teammate. We're supposed to be teammates. We're supposed to be on the same team. Right? We're supposed to be playing together, right? We're supposed to be passing the ball to each other, right? We're supposed to be doing handoffs and ball screens, right? We're supposed to be doing these things together.
Okay, so yeah, it's he kind of all over the place right now, right? So this isn't the only video that I saw. I got another one here that I want to share with you guys. Let me see if I can find that here. Oh yeah. Here we go. This one here we get off of Threads, and let me go ahead and pull this up so you guys can see right along with your man Spann. Hold on a second. While I do this here, I wish they had another option where I can hold two in queue, but they don't. So we got to make it do what it do, baby. All right, let's see what he's talking about here on Threads. Wait a second. Where's the sound? There it is.
That's why, and they think I'm crazy. That's why my wife in here and she not even texting me. That's why all these dudes in the NBA, they go and party because they have no peace, and they think that's peace for them. That's why they play all that secular music in the arenas, and people act like it's nothing going on. But they talking about how I fornicate with multiple women, how I get pregnant and I leave these children and they grow up without a dad and a father or a mother because they taking all these pills and they talking about pills in the songs and they putting it in the arenas and they think I'm crazy. That's why my wife in here and she not even texting me.
Okay. So yeah, man. He seems to be like kind of going through something right now. One of the things that I think is very interesting is that again, how much I'm seeing people like, don the cape for Jaden Ivey right now. Folks were upset about the fact that the Bulls decided to waive him. Folks are already saying he's been blackballed. It's been one day, man. Relax. But I don't think that constantly doubling down and tripling down on a position that that folks find objectionable is the way to get back. It's the way to make you seem what's the word that I'm looking for? Appealing to a team to want to bring you in, to come bring you in the fold, to kind of be a part of that organization. And I know some folks have talked about, it was his comments about not so much the LGBTQ community, but also what he said about Catholics. Now I don't know what he said about Catholics, and I know there's a much longer video that we don't have the time to play here on the show. But I'm just gonna say this, man. Dude, you were injured and you were putting up 7 points a game for the Chicago Bulls. I think what they did was they made a decision like you were not worth the trouble, right? We've seen guys in the NBA who have had who's said and done much worse things than Jaden Ivey has done. But those guys were out there. They're the best ability is availability, and they were available and they were effective when they played. If you are a marginal player in the NBA, if you're a marginal player in the MLB, if you're a marginal player in the NFL, if you're a marginal player in the NHL, they will get rid of you if you make things, much more harder than it is to keep you. And at this particular moment, the NBA is deciding, like, nah, man, we don't need this kind of look. And so we will, not even so much the NBA, the Chicago Bulls just decided that, yeah, man, it's not even worth the trouble. I mean, they traded away some dude that apparently they were willing to get rid of him. And now they just like, all right, we're going to cut our losses on Jaden Ivey because he hasn't been available for us since we traded for him. So, yeah, man, to me, one of the things I think is interesting is going to be how people watch this guy over the course of the next couple weeks, man, because it's also kind of reminding me, y'all remember when Kanye West first started losing his motherfucking mind, and then you had people coming up talking about y'all just don't understand. What he really saying is this. It's like, nah, nigga, I heard him. I know exactly what he said. You're not the Kanye whisperer, nigga. And I think to some degree, this is what's happening with Jaden Ivey right now. But again, it's early. I'm speculating just like everybody else. But yeah, it looked like my man crashing out. It looked like my man is having a public crash out. And of course, because of social media and his content, you're going to have some people who are championing him because, especially I'll say the right wing will champion him because they feel as though being a Christian means they're being aggrieved because they don't get to impose Christianity on those who are not Christians, right? And so they feel aggrieved about that. So the fact that Jaden Ivey was waived by the Chicago Bulls, hey, he still gets paid. I saw somebody talk about, hey, man, we should come up with a GoFundMe for Jaden Ivey. Like, this nigga a millionaire. What are you talking about? Right? So yeah, man. Yeah, did Jaden Ivey find God or did he lose his mind, man? I think that might be a question that we'll have in a poll or something. Because yeah, man, Jaden Ivey, he seems to be going through it, man. So prayers up for that brother, man. I hope he finds his way. But yeah, man, it ain't looking good. It ain't looking good, man. Real talk. So yeah, we got that going on. Now, another story that we have going on has to deal with one Rosanda Thomas, man. As we all know her as Chili from TLC. Now, I can't tell y'all the disappointment that came across my face when I found out that my little middle school crush, man, might be motherfucking Mac. Oh, my God.
Makes me sick, motherfucker, how far we done fell.
Oh, man. Finding out that she could possibly be MAGA, man, broke my little 12-year-old heart, man. For real, man. I used to have the hugest crush on Chili. She was my favorite out of the group. I'm like, God damn, she fine, right? much like, Stacey Dash was fine in the motherfucker too. But then, like, we started finding out how motherfuckers thinking and how they act, and she be like, I don't know, man. Something about them, right? Something about them. But apparently, Chili was on social media and she shared some shit, like a conspiracy theory about allegedly Michelle Obama being a man. Nigga! Yeah, man. Yeah, she did that dumb shit. And she got on like social media to explain it, talking about the buttons being too close together and shit. Like, hold on, man.
Supposed to feel sorry for that bitch. I don't.
Yeah, man. So, but what that ended up doing was that started making people, kind of go into her, like they started digging on Chili, and they started finding out like Chili was out here donating to Republican political action committee. She was donating to Trump, the whole shit. And so we got this video here. We get this from Fox 26 Houston. Let me see if I can pull this up so you guys can watch right along with your man Spann. Hold on here while I do this here. Boom, boom. And they got this is a Houston channel. Why they playing a Detroit commercial? That's crazy. Call Sam. I'll be damned. All right, so we let the ad play.
Also trending tonight, TLC singer and star Chili in the hot seat with fans. She's come forward to say she has mistakenly reposted a conspiracy video about Michelle Obama and that she is not in support of the MAGA movement despite Federal Elections Commission's records that show she donated more than $1,000 towards the president re-election campaign. In an online video, Chile insists she intended to support veterans, not President Trump.
Comes to organizations that I have donated to, these are the things that support the veterans. You know, I have always supported them, not just now, but for years. This is not something new.
Now, Chile also released.
But hold on. Here's what doesn't make sense, right? So say you are like you donating and you donating because you want to support the veterans. Like, are you not reading the shit that they're saying in the email? Are you not reading the shit that they're saying in the advertisement? Because oftentimes they leave some pretty fucking clear markers on as to who exactly it is going to benefit from said funds that you were donating. Very seldom do they make it subtle about who it is you contributing your money to. As a matter of fact, they will continue to come to you because they're like, oh, here's a donor. Let's see if we can get some more money out of the motherfuckers. Trust me, I know. Trust me, I know. Fucking Vote Blue will not stay out my goddamn inbox, okay? Right? So they make it clear more often than not. So the idea that you didn't know that this wasn't just for the veterans, find that very hard to believe. Also, they also found like these other like social media posts that she liked from conservative creators and conservative political figures and stuff like that, and she would be in the likes and shit. So people have been really doing some digging. Like, I don't know if this is really gonna go over the way you think it's gonna go over, Chili. Sorry.
A statement further apologizing, but fans say it's too little too late, and they are planning to boycott her upcoming tour with Salt and Pepper. This has also sparked a conversation about the backlash other black people who actually claim to be conservative say. Joining us to talk about it, host of Uncivilized Podcast Today and media specialist Brigitte.
Okay, so we're not gonna go through this whole thing, but yeah, man, I know there's a lot of people who probably wanted to go to that show and decide they're like, nah, man, I don't rock with that MAGA shit, and I'm not gonna allow you to I'm not gonna spend my money with anybody who supports that MAGA shit. And a lot of people have drawn that line in the sand, like, especially considering what Donald Trump has done to this country and how he's attacked black people, minorities in general. They're no longer, people are no longer just kind of turning an eye, a blind eye to that type of shit no more. Like, people are being much more conscientious about where they spend their money, how they spend their money, and who they spend their money with. So yeah, man, I wonder what it's going to do for the tour, or better yet, whether or not just TLC gets dropped from the tour, because I do believe that there's two other groups. I want to say there's En Vogue and En Vogue and Salt and Pepper are supposed to be a part of that that tour. So maybe they drop TLC and the tour goes on, because I'm sure them sisters ain't trying to lose their bag over the fact that it's Chili out here being silly, So yeah, man. Yo, man, so let me know how many of you guys think would it be over an overreaction from the community to, like, if they continue to have TLC on that show to boycott that concert? Let me know, man. Like, because I know some people were like, man, y'all doing too much, man. It's always somebody. So yeah, man, if you're that somebody, let me know, man. What do you think? Whether or not, if the community decide, like, yeah, man, I mean, we wanted to see them, but she fucking up, so nah, I ain't spending that money. Let me know if you think that's a bit too much, man. Real talk. But yeah, man, Chili out here fucking up the church's money. So yeah, man, we got that going on. Shout out to that sister's hair though, man. That shit looks regal. Also, man, we got another story that's going on. So we were talking about, the Republican fixation on the trans issue last time I hit this mic, where I pretty much talked about how, they introduced the bathroom bills, and then they kind of went back and workshopped how they can make the trans thing an issue going forward. And they've been successful in doing that over the course of the last 10 years. Right now, I kind of want to say this is damn near breaking news. Yeah. Apparently, allegedly, allegedly, former Secretary of Homeland Defense Kristi Noem's husband has been accused of living a double life as a cross-dresser who's obsessed with bimbofication kink. Yeah, man. So apparently this dude likes to have chats with people on websites where he cross-dresses, and he talks with these people who are well, let's just read the story, okay? We get this story here. This comes out of Yahoo News. And they say Brian Noem, the husband of former Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem, was accused on Tuesday of living a double life as a cross-dresser obsessed with donning fake huge boobs and talking to fetish models online. In a jaw-dropping report Tuesday in Tuesday's Daily Mail. Now, God damn it. God damn it, man. Just nigga. See, it's the Daily Mail. So I don't know how serious to take this shit now. You know what I'm saying? Now I've seen some shit online where they were saying Kristi Noem was out here to look, asking for like privacy in this difficult time and stuff. So maybe there's some validity to the story. Maybe there isn't. But now I'm questioning the shit because this is coming from the Daily Mail, man. So we got to be careful. We got to be careful with where we getting our shit. But I'm going to continue reading this shit because, Yahoo News is sharing it. So fuck, man. Says the two reporters spoke to several fetish models who claim to have had an online relationship with Noem involving bimbofication, a kink centered around women becoming real-life Barbie dolls with gigantic proportions. Kristi Noem's husband is today revealed as a secret cross-dresser who dons gigantic fake breasts and pink hot pants to chat with online fetish models, reported Boswell and Ashford, who claim Noem lavished praise on their surgically enhanced bodies, confessed his lust for huge, ridiculous boobs, and even made indiscreet remarks about his 34-year marriage to former Homeland Security Secretary Kristi. Noem, who reportedly made thousands of dollars in payments to sex workers, allegedly asked one fetish model to turn him into a girl before asking whether or not he should put on leggings. According to the report, Noem made little effort to conceal his relationship with Trump's Secretary of Homeland Security, giving women his phone number with a voicemail message which identified his business. He didn't give a fuck, bro.
Supposed to feel sorry for that bitch. I don't.
Oh, man, this is the Daily Mail spoke to several national security experts who expressed concern that Noem's secret life could have exposed his wife and in turn the White House to blackmail. Now, come on, man. You think this White House is impervious to blackmail? I mean, you think that there's something they worry about? They are some corrupt motherfuckers already. They ain't worried about this type of shit. But it does speak to every motherfucking accusation being really a confession, because these people are obsessed. These people are obsessed with the sex lives of other folk, right? We see this all the time with their trans panic over bathrooms and girls' sports and what have you. Meanwhile, they don't care about the girls' sports because they clowning about it all the time. When the women's WNBA got their new collective bargaining agreement, these same motherfuckers who swear up and down they wanted to protect women in girls' sports were laughing at the idea that these women got a better deal for themselves. They don't care. They've never cared. It's all bullshit, right? But the fact that this guy is out here behaving in such a manner just kind of speaks to how repressed sexually a lot of these people on the right wing are. You know how much they talk about websites like Grindr get fucking overloaded anywhere there's a gang of fucking conservatives gathered around. Like when CPAC comes to a town, Grindr grinds to a fucking halt because these people are requesting gay same-sex hookups in that town. Right? You start looking up some of the porn sites would kind of put up like what's the most popular porn in some of these conservative rural states, and you start seeing some of that gay porn. You start seeing some of that incest porn. You start seeing some of that shit. Like as much as they wanted to talk shit about it, they are very much engaged into it, right? So it's been very interesting to like kind of watch how Republicans navigate this shit. While they're very publicly against it, well, they're very privately for it. So yeah, man. I don't know. Like I said, this is coming from the Daily Mail. I don't know if this is true or not, but yeah, man. Well, shit. I guess I can show y'all this, man. I'm gonna pull this picture up so you guys can see how they got this man, well, how this man has dressed himself. But let's see if I can pull that up. And can I blow this up? Yeah, I can blow that up. But yeah, this is Kristi Noem and Trump and her husband. And this is apparently how he dresses when he's on the chat rooms talking to the fetish models. So yeah. Make of that what you will. All right. All right. That's enough of that. That is enough of that. So we got that going on. Also, man, yeah, I'm gonna speak to it, man. So Nick Cannon and Amber Rose, man, they out here talking crazy, man.
Niggas.
Yeah, man. So accordingly, you know, the world is mad at Nick Cannon for saying some silly shit. You know, but Nick Cannon has been saying silly shit for a long time, man. And this time he got caught, you know, not only just saying some silly shit, but also saying just some flat, historically inaccurate shit. And I think that's the thing that's pissing a lot of folks off is that he's making statements politically in this particular clip that just devoid of context. You would think like, oh, well, shit, I guess the Republicans and Donald Trump is all right, right? So, yeah, let me go ahead and pull this up and see exactly what the fuck Nick Cannon is talking about here. Yeah, so TMZ got it, and it's saying Nick Cannon says the Dems are the KKK party, and I fuck with Trump.
There'll be a monkey's bare-assed uncle.
All right, do they have video to this? Yes, there is video to this, so I'm going to go ahead and pull the video up so you guys can watch with your boy. And let's see what this nigga talking about, y'all.
Part of the Republican Party.
That's right. Former Democrat, former liberal.
Yeah.
I was a liberal Democrat my whole life.
Is that because the bag has got so intense and so heavy that you had a whole nother, you up there with the elite now?
Not even close. Not even close. Democrats don't care about black people.
Okay,
and they don't care about people. They don't care about people of color. And the Republicans do, and that's the misconception.
And you know what? I agree with you 100%.
Thank you,
People
Nick.
don't know that the Democrats is the party of the KKK.
Yep.
People don't.
Hold on. Let me do this the right way. Let me do this the Spann way. She said,
Don't know that the
Thank you,
people
Nick.
don't know that the Democrats is the party.
Here, wait, go back.
Care about people. They don't care about people. About black people. And they don't close. Not even close. Democrats don't care about black people. And they don't care about people. They don't care about people of color. And the Republicans do, and that's the misconception.
Now, one of the things I think is very interesting, and maybe is because Nick Cannon didn't give her a chance to do it. She never articulated how and why the Republicans would be better for black people or people of color or minorities, period. She never articulates that. They never do, right? She just says this thing and we're supposed to, you know, go with it and be cool with it. But they never really tell you what the Republican Party is doing currently that is good for black folk or any minority groups, to, you know, for that matter. They never tell you that. They just say this shit and they just think that's supposed to just stand on its own, and it doesn't.
And you know what? I agree with you 100%.
Thank you,
People
Nick.
don't know that the Democrats is the party of the KKK.
Yep.
People don't know that the Republicans are the party that freed the slaves.
Yep.
She's like, yeah, because she probably don't know either, right? But like for him to say like Democrats are the party of the KKK, yeah, probably the Democrats of 1865, nigga. You know what I'm saying? And talking about the Republicans freed, it's like, yeah, back in 1865, nigga. Like, that's almost 200 years ago, dog. Like, if you got to go back damn near 200 years to figure out whether or not the Republicans are really good for you or not, then damn it, you need shit. They ain't doing a whole lot if you got to go that far fucking back to figure out how good they've been in your people, right? But yeah, man, like I already, like the weird thing about this is that like I already did a show where we kind of go back into the history of like how the majority of black people came to be Democrat, or not even so much Democrat, but Democratic voters. And it is not because black people are just loyal to a party to a fault. No, black people are some of the more politically astute voters in America because we have to be, and also because the Republican Party hasn't offered black people much to vote for. As a matter of fact, the Republican Party has been very much antagonistic towards black people since 1965 with the passage of the Civil Rights Act, right? Now, we've already gone through that history. I got a video on that shit. I'm not going to rehash the entire thing. But I'm just saying, man, like, way too many people, because of social media, way too many people, they get little sound bites like this, and then they'll go and they'll Google, did the KKK start with Democrats? And then they'll tell them yes. And then that's as far as they may go with it. They don't know why at that particular point in time they were. Just the same as they won't go and ask why black folks were Republican at that time. And why, how, and why did the ideology switch, right? And then on top of that, they may end up running into some misinformation from someone like a Candace Owens or PragerU, and they will tell you that the political realignment never happened, that it's a myth, that it's totally made up. How do you explain a whole race of people who vote for a particular political party at an overwhelming clip when they used to be a part of the opposing party, if there was nothing ideologically that changed, right? So they prey on stupid people. They plant, like, these are the type of folks that they're trying to influence. But also, keep in mind, this is an election year. They also want to use celebrity to try to influence those who may not be as politically astute to put these types of messages out, right? We saw this happen in 2024 with how Donald Trump was able to ingratiate himself with the podcast bros, right? A lot of young men, not necessarily politically astute, thought voting for Donald Trump was just a cool fucking thing to do. Excuse me. Some of them were in the armed forces. Some of them are heading their asses over to the Middle East right now because Donald Trump decided to just start a fucking war with Iran. Right? I'm pretty sure they didn't have that shit on their bingo card when they cast their ballot. But this is how it kind of unfolds and shit, and just like kind of watching this happen, like, come on, man, not again.
I mean, both of you and I have some conservative views. You just a little bit more outspoken about it than I am. And I honestly don't subscribe to neither party. I rock with W.E.B. Du Bois when he.
Okay, so here's another thing too. Very seldom. This is one of those Stephen A. Smith type of animal. I don't really rock with any party, right now. I'm pretty much, I'm an independent, man. They both two sides of the same coin, that type of shit right now. He's going to put this in the words of W.E.B. Du Bois. But in 2026, to say that they're two sides of the same coin when one party is absolutely showing you that they have nothing for you and yours, you gotta put your head out your ass, bruh. And usually what ends up happening is this: the guys especially, the guys who would tell you that they aren't political or they think it's two sides of the same coin, that whole shit, genuinely speaking, those guys tend to lean right wing. They just don't want the ostracization that comes with being right wing, because they know that the vast majority of the people don't really rock with that right wing shit. So in order for them to kind of keep some level of credibility, some level of social standing, they'll say, well, no, I'm a little above that, man. I don't really talk politics and shit, especially in their dating lives, man. Like, how many of them dudes be going out there telling these women they not political? No, women be like, all right, that's a complete red flag in today's time. You not political with all this shit going on? You not political, nigga? What's wrong with you? Right?
Said there's no such thing as two parties. It's just one evil party with two different names. So
yeah, I mean, look, I listen. I'm not married to any party.
Right.
I voted for Donald Trump because we had two options, and he was definitely by far the better option for us.
She thought that he was the better option for us, considering that we saw January 6th happen because this son of a bitch just threw a temper tantrum because he lost the first election. I mean, his second election. He completely bungled the response, the response to COVID-19 by getting rid of Barack Obama's infectious diseases task force out of the CDC. We had way more people die of COVID-19 in America because of Donald Trump's brazen disrespect and disregard for anything that Barack Obama brought to bear. And so because of his disrespect of that, we had millions of Americans die because we didn't have the proper people and the proper apparatus in place to battle that disease in the way in which we should have. Right? But she thought that was the better option between the two. Okay, ma'am.
And as of now, I agree with a lot of things that he's doing.
Cleaning house.
Yeah.
But he doing what he said he was going to do.
Guess what? If there's a time where I don't agree, I'll say I don't agree.
Yeah. We got the Gulf of America now.
Period.
Charging, he's like the club. He's charging a $5 million bottle service fee to get into the country.
I know. Listen. But guess what?
Okay, so he says he fucks with Trump, and he said a bunch of ridiculous shit, like he charged a $5 million entry fee to get into America. We got the Gulf of America. Silly shit, man. Silly shit. But this ain't the first time we done heard Nick Cannon say some silly shit, man, in regards to politics. This ain't the first time, man. Like, I had to go back. I had to go back to the Wayback Machine, man. And I found one of the videos I remember some years ago, because this was like right after the 2016 election when Donald Trump became president the first time. And when he came out with this shit here, man, hold on a second. He'll probably get my shit flagged or something, but I don't give a fuck. Because y'all, man, like, this was stupid. This was stupid then, it's stupid now. But I was also very telling, because he said he fucks with Trump now. He's seen Donald Trump operating as a political figure for the better part of a decade now, and he says he fucks with Trump now. But this was what he was talking about way back in, when did this come out? 9 years ago. So maybe 2016, 2017. This is what he said back then. This is some shit he called Too Broke to Vote.
Doing anything political?
Yeah, I mean, life is political.
Well, if it's political, you have to be outside the 100-foot range there.
Also, this nigga went to a polling place. The lady asked him, "Are you doing anything political?" Knowing that hey man, you can't do that shit within 100 feet of the polling place. And he had some smart alecky ass response. Life is political. Like, nigga, come on, bro. He's not a serious person. He's just not a serious person.
Doing everything that we could do is what we always do. All right, have fun.
I also want to say this probably came out around the time this nigga played Chirac in the movie Chirac, and that movie made me want to beat the fuck out of Spike Lee. That was the worst fucking movie ever. Like Spike needed his ass whooped for that one, and he needed his ass whooped for his portrayal of as a Chicago gangster. Like, fuck.
Everybody I know say they too broke to vote. And with all this heavy slave mentality, we could have broke the boat. Nobody cares about me. Nobody cares about my family. Nobody cares about my folks. So nobody gets my vote. Nobody for president. That's my campaign slogan. We got money for wars, but we can't feed our homeless.
We got money for wars, but can't feed our homeless. Correct me if I'm wrong, but as it stands right now, the Trump administration is asking the government, the Congress, to give them billions of dollars to help fund their war in Iran, and taking that money from the American care, the ACA or Obamacare. They're trying to take money from healthcare to go spend that money to go bomb those folks over in Iran. Right? But he fucks with Trump. Whoops. Didn't mean to.
Doing everything that we can. All right, have fun. And with all this heavy slave mentality, we could have broke the boat. Nobody cares about me. Nobody cares about my family. Nobody cares about my folks. So nobody gets my vote. Nobody for president. That's my campaign slogan. We got money for wars, but we can't feed our homeless. The government is hopeless. It's like a reality show. Real lives of the house liars starring Anglo-Saxon Christians. Change the channel, sound like a bunch of arguing bitches. Switch up the game show, America's next top corrupt judicial system. For instance, I'm saying, look at my options. Voting for office is like picking out which gun you want to get shot with. These politicians think they battle rappers, and they swear they spitting that hot shit. Gunka, control, abortion, civil liberties, extortion, energy, the economy, immigration, global warming. But I ain't feeling the burn. And hell no, I'll never get Trump. The Clintons had their chance with me. They the reason why.
Wait, he said he'll never get with Trump. Now he's saying I fucks with Trump. Interesting.
My cousin's still locked up. Mass incarceration still fucked up. 3 strikes get you 25 to life. Nigga, good luck. Fuck.
I've managed to go 45 years of my life and not get, I don't have a single strike, nigga. Not a single one. And you know what? Millions of other black folks, millions of other people, period, have been able to go their whole lives without committing at least 3 felonies. This is something I think is inherently like kind of insidious and racist in and of itself, that like to portray as though black people are inherently criminal. No, we're not. We may be over policed, but we're not inherently criminal. So yeah, I reject that. I reject that.
Your future, fuck your daddy, fuck your rights, fuck your mentality. In actuality, the Constitution said I was just 3/5 of a man, so what's stopping them from saying that again? The top 3% over the 13th Amendment, minus the 40 acres plus the rest of my reparations? Yeah, they doing that new government mad. Watergate the Whitewater, call that the government bad. The law was we couldn't even use the same bathrooms. Back then, where was your government at?
That was Democrats that got you the right to do that. That's where their 1965 Civil Rights Act comes in. And that's where their Fair Housing Act of 1968 comes in. And that's where the Voting Rights Act of 1964 comes. Like these are the things that Democrats helped push through that got you out of that situation that you're bitching about right now. Right? And you didn't have to go back 200 years to get it or to find out who was responsible for you having it. Come on, man.
Behind our back, ingesting, cracking it up. Yup, the government laugh. But in our face, they want to cry and sob and wonder why we shoot and rob. Guess what? Nothing stops a bullet like a job. And we can't elect without no college. And
hey, you know what that infrastructure bill did, that Joe Biden put out? That infrastructure bill? That was a jobs program, Chief. You know how many people I saw doing the same type of work that I do, but in different for different companies? You know how many people I saw putting in water pipelines? You know how many people I saw doing creating windmills and building solar panels? You know how many people I saw like just like going out and rebuilding bridges and highways and shit? Like all those are jobs, and they were high paying jobs. Guess what Trump did when he got in there? Gutted the shit. Come on, man. Nothing stops bullet like a job. Yeah, they were giving jobs, high paying ones too. Trump gutted them.
don't even get me started about the electoral college. I mean, let's be honest, that's how they really choose the president, and that's facts. They got y'all confused with these views from these Republicans and Democrats. Liberals and conservatives, man, I ain't none of that. I'm hungry. But where the money at? Because I'm too broke to vote. I'm too broke to cope. I ain't trying to check no ballots. I'm trying to check this balance on these checking accounts. And y'all being careful double checking accounts, but just like in Florida, it's going to be another miscount. As soon as they get to this amount, they're going to try to dismount. Yeah, flipping sides back and forth, it's political gymnastics. Just like Olympic acrobats, go for the gold, because that's who makes the rules. All this pageantry is just designed for fools. They gonna give you who they choose. Too big to fail, too rich to lose. And
so you mean to tell me that they chose Trump the first time? It was they that chose Trump and not the people? As a matter of fact, it was they that chose Trump to the point where Trump was going to like, turn the whole shit over and send his people over to the fucking Capitol. Like, come on, man. Like, this is that when you're not invested in learning how your government works, this is the shit that you come up with, right? There's an answer for your questions. But if you don't take the time to learn what those answers are, then you be out here saying silly shit like this in front of the world. There used to be a time when we were embarrassed to be this publicly stupid. I don't know what happened, but we're no longer embarrassed to be publicly stupid anymore. Way too many people go out of their way to show the world just how fucking dumb we are. Way too many. And unfortunately, way too many people that got a lot of money. Right? Way too many of them go out of their way to show us just how dumb they really are.
I'm still too broke to vote. So how do we fix it then? Give her away. In the end is where it begins. So I vote we return this country back to its original owners, the Native Americans.
All right, and the pensive music and all that other shit, right? So we have yet to see Nick Cannon leave the United States. Did he give his home up to any Native Americans? Probably not. But it sounded good, right? At least it sounded profound. The music was going to make it sound really heavy, doing it outside of a polling place, really heavy, but ultimately limited to like the message was wanting. The message was wanting. Let's see. We got a comment here. Reed CJ says, "Is he doing Kanye or is he trying to date Amber Rose?" I don't know. I don't know. I mean, shit, he's probably dating her. Who the fuck knows? Nick Cannon is spreading that seed far and wide. And maybe she's the next candidate up on the Nick Cannon Summer Jam screen. Who knows? But, yeah, like I said, they're not smart people, right? Now, like I said, this one here was from like 9 years ago. I want to say maybe 2017, something like that. So probably this probably came out around the midterms or like right before the midterms or something like that when he put this out, or right after the general election in 2016. So, yeah, but also, because that wasn't it. That wasn't it. Oh, yeah. So just as a reminder of some of the things, because I'm more so, I'm of the mindset of, hey, man, what are they doing currently right now? And so when they say that, the Republican Party, or I'm sorry, that the Democratic Party is the party of the KKK, let's just remember that Trump picked for a State Department role withdrawals after insensitive race remarks. We get this story here. This comes from The Independent. Jeremy Carl thanked Trump and Secretary of State Marco Rubio for their support, but said their backing was not sufficient enough. Said President Donald Trump's nominee for a senior State Department position withdrew from consideration on Tuesday after his controversial comment stirred rare Republican opposition to the president's choice. Jeremy Carl's currently a senior fellow at the conservative Claremont Institute think tank and a former deputy assistant secretary of the Interior during Trump's first term, was the president's nominee for assistant secretary of state for international organizations. Let's see. Carl's nomination was in doubt since Republican Senator John Curtis of Utah, a member of the community, said after Carl's nomination hearing in February, he did not believe Carl was the right person to represent the country's best interests at international organizations. Curtis cited Carl's anti-Israel views and insensitive remarks about Jewish people as disqualifying factors, failing to support a Trump nominee in a rare rebuke by Republican majority Senate, which to date has backed the vast majority of the president's nominations and policies. That the White House and the State Department did not immediately respond to requests. But like seeing some of the confirmation hearings that he was having, like, they were challenging him. He was talking about the loss of white society in America. It's like, are you serious, bro? Like you can't find white society in America. What the fuck is wrong with you? But that's just one recent story, man. Another story, man. Trump says that white South Africans are being persecuted. Right? Remember, Donald Trump went out here, told the world that there's a genocide happening to white to white folks in South Africa, and then come to find out some of them people are like, hey man, this American shit really ain't for us. We going back home. Right? We gonna go back to the crib. Now they want me to subscribe to Reuters, man. I can't do it right now. But yeah, man. Let me see. I'm sure there's another story. South Africans. I'm sure I can find another story that I don't have to pay for. Africans return home. All right. Yeah, we got this. This is March 17th. We get this from the BBC. And it says thousands of white South Africans abroad, including in the U.S., are returning home despite President Donald Trump's alleging that they are being targeted, a claim the South African government denies. At least 12,000 people have checked their citizenship status in preparation for a permanent return. A South African relocation agency has reported a 70% surge in inquiries over the past 6 months. We explore what's driving this trend. Meanwhile, billions of Muslims around the world watch the sky for the sighting of the crescent moon that marks the end of Ramadan and the start of Eid. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Celebrations. Science is changing how the moon is tracked. So how do astronomy and tradition intersect, and what does the sighting of the moon mean across Africa? But the idea that there was supposedly this genocide of white people in South Africa, and he was having all these South Africans welcome over in America. And then they find out later, like, well, I mean, I guess South Africa wasn't so bad. If they think think about this for a second. They are leaving America to go back to South Africa, where apparently there's supposed to be a fucking genocide. Nigga! It don't make sense, man. It don't make sense. But that's something the Trump administration doing recently. Another story of the Trump administration doing some fuck shit. Let's see. Where is it? Damn it. I knew I saved it. Apparently not. Apparently not. But the point being, Donald Trump and his administration have gone out of their way to antagonize voters of color, black people in particular, by trying to remove our history from schools, by trying to water down exhibits and museums that tell the true story of what happened to black people here in America. And so for Nick Cannon and Amber Rose to get on any public platform to spew that bullshit, yeah, I'm glad that they're getting the pushback that they're getting. It's well deserved, but also I would really hope, because I know with the way in which the world works right now, where attention is currency, they're probably just looking at this like, hey man, at least they talking about me, right? Whether the attention is good or bad, people are just happy to have the attention at all. But what I would hope is that with the backlash, that someone would like, yo, man, I probably shouldn't say that silly shit again. Right? So yeah, man. Yeah, Nick Cannon hasn't been a serious person politically to listen to ever. Right? I can't ever remember a time where I'm like, man, that Nick Cannon got a real goddamn good point. Nah, not ever. So yeah, man. Yeah, man, we got that going on. But yo, I'm about to get on up out of here. But of course, before I do, I got to remind you guys how to get in touch with us over here at the Mr. Spann Official Podcast and let your voice be heard. You can go ahead and hit us up at that hotline at area code 313-288-0485. That's area code 313-288-0485. Leave those voicemail messages. Of course, those messages will get played here live on the show and responded to in kind. You can also hit me up on Threads and Instagram. My name on both of those platforms is Mr._Spann. So go ahead, follow me there. Chop it up with your man Spann throughout the week. Also, hit us up on YouTube at the Spann Report Podcast Network on YouTube. Like the channel, subscribe to the channel, like the videos, leave us comments there, and we'll talk about your comments here on the show. Real talk. We'll do that for sure. And we appreciate you guys for helping us out in that way, man. Real talk. Also, leave us a 5-star review on iTunes and or Spotify. Those 5-star reviews are the ones that get read here live on the show. We really do appreciate you guys for doing that. Doesn't cost you a dime, just a couple minutes of your time to let everybody know why you're rocking with us over here at the Mr. Spann Official Podcast. And also, go to our store, man. Copy yourself some merch, man. The store, the link to the store will be in the show notes. Copy yourself some merch, man. For those of you who would like to help us continue this in a monetary way, go ahead, go to the store, copy yourself something, and get something back for your money, man. So that's what that's all about, man. Real talk. But I am about to get on up out of here, and I will talk to you guys again soon. But until next time, fam, peace.